Muscles.
What is the first word that comes to your mind when you hear the word man? Matthew McConaughey.
Dad? So I think that I don't mean I like don't really see like a father role is like being a man. I guess you could say like that.
So the first response here is father.
Me. 4 others.
The father is like the patriarch of the family, the leader or whatever. I mean, I've sort of like my father always like kind of like had that role as like the provider.
I have a beard. I don't really have a beard, but I do consider myself a man.
Woman.
Says muscles. I guess that's definitely not the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of a man. Like, yeah, I don't really know what to say to that one.
I'd describe masculinity as manliness, meaning it's a man's inner manness. By this, I mean that I think the word masculine describes how much a male acts in the stereotypical manly way, based on what I described it meant to be, a man in the previous question. I don't really know.
Doing what are conceived to be male things to do, like playing sports. Because being able to hit a ball or throw a ball farther than someone else determines whether or not you are a man.
Helping others, setting a good example. Kick-ass beard.
Who said that? Kick-ass beard.
Playing sports, watching sports, lifting weights, being muscly, never act girly. This one's funny to me, actually.
Having strength, suppressing emotions. So they define masculinity as having strength, suppressing emotions. Are these only men who answer these questions?
A beard. Maybe if you're like a lumberjack, but some people can't like rock a beard. I don't think that's a real masculine thing.
Fighting through adversity and now bowing to pressure as well as some physical proudness. I know, like, for me, every male and every man is different, so I don't really think there's a definite term for masculinity. There is no one set, oh, this is what masculinity is, this is how someone should be in society. So I know masculinity in that of itself is unique, just like we're all unique. So
I think a better way of putting it is just not letting emotions overwhelm. I don't think it's necessarily suppressing.
I think
it's just trying to stay in control.
I don't think that any men really actively suppress their emotions.
Yeah.
I think that it's inherent behavior for males.
Depends on the extent. Nothing inherently wrong with it, so long as people don't get too caught up with it. Masculinity is the fallible belief that one is beyond accepting help from others and should shoulder life's burdens alone in a way that is socially acceptable for males. That's pretty good.
I never really do. Even half the things on this list, I've never really questioned my own masculinity. It's just something that's... masculinity is just something I feel you have to define for yourself. You can't really let other people decide what you should be. Probably the mindset that I shouldn't ask for or accept help. Actually, I want to respond to this one, but I just need a second to gather my thoughts.
The stigma against showing emotion and reaching out for help when you need it.
It is tough because you're constantly peer pressured to behave a certain way, and if you do not fit that stereotype, you're stuck in a limbo. I don't know if I agree with that one.
Sometimes it is expected for you to pay for meals and drinks for a girl, but you have no money to spend.
living up to the varying definitions of what it means to be a man. I would agree. It's tough when you don't know what is really expected of you or what you expect of yourself, especially when you get to college and have to ask, what do I want to do for the rest of my life?
The stigma that we're all assholes.
Thinking that you are the one who has to always make the first move when it comes to social interaction with humans.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I can see that's a pretty big pressure.
It's
yeah.
true, but it's a biological truth. It's an evolutionary truth. We are men are literally stronger, and so like we've evolved around those practices, and they're not going anywhere.
I feel like I don't feel like there's constant pressure to like behave in a certain way. Like, I think you just kind of act. Like, I think that's kind of like an old school kind of approach. Like, I do think that there's some extent to society is like still the same about being a man and all that stuff. But like, I don't think that like there's like a constant peer pressure to act that way.
And it's difficult with everybody changing their minds and having different opinions and becoming more intelligent with what's going on around them.
Actually, I'll just move on.
Waking up in the morning.
I think in society there are standards and traits that we have associated with masculinity, and the more a male adheres to those standards, the more of a man they are. Interesting. They're taking more sociological perspective on the question.
Being a man is standing up for what is right and for people who are not able to stand up for themselves.
Being able to stand up for friends and family when a difficult situation arises. This is also pretty similar. So again, that's something that's so classic. Like when you hear like you gotta be a man, like you gotta be the man of the household. You have like this kind of responsibility on you in a way that like when something happens, like you're the one that has to fix it. Or when there's like a bad situation, like you're the one that's supposed to like hold everything together.
So basically what they're saying is that to be a man you have to be masculine.
Yeah, they kind of avoided the question because they said that you need to adhere to the context of what society says being a man is.
It's not your personal.
So they're saying that like being a man is being whatever your culture defines a man as, which is they didn't really answer. They didn't answer the question clearly.
To have very little feeling or emotions. To tough things out and have limited fears.
To have a penis and be over the age of 18. I think that's kind of missing the point of the question a little bit.
I think that's like a huge expectation that puts a lot of pressure on people, as well as just not letting other people be able to have that kind of role in like a family or something like that. Like that whole pressure that's put on like a son or like in a family when the dad's like, all right, you're the man of the house, like when I'm gone, like you have to do whatever, and you're like, why?
A man should be respectful and a good person. A good man is a good father, husband, brother, and friend. I actually think this means a lot. I think this would like resonate with me.
Like maybe it's the question should have been like in your own culture.
Well, no, I think the question was fine.
The question was fine. It was like, what do you think? And that's not what he thinks.
Well, it kind of is, but
yeah.
Like, why does a man have to handle everything? Like, I don't think that's really how it should work. I think whoever is the most capable should always just be the person that takes care of that situation, and then everybody else helps as much as they can. So that's just one of those like gender type things that I think puts pressure on both men and then holds back women for the same thing. So I think that's like a double negative for both men and women.